Leeds North West. I'm pretty sure when this is replayed in BBC Parliament, it will probably be on after the watershed. But I want to pay tribute to the Honourable Lady, the member for Wakefield, for opening the debate, and to thank the Liaison Committee for securing time for us to debate this. Unusually, I want to pay tribute to the Private Parliamentary Secretary, the Honourable Gentleman for Thurston Malton, who is in his PPS spot, but this week he came along to meet with a number of children who'd come down from Glasgow, who've been doing some fantastic work. It's the children at Sunnyside Primary, which is actually my mother's old primary school. They're much more innovative now. But they come down, they're known as the Sunnyside Ocean Defenders, and they've really been making waves in Scotland around the whole issue of their campaign for nae straw at all, and I can clarify that for Hansard later on. But it's really this desire to see a reduction in the use of single-use plastic straws, whilst also being mindful of people with disabilities still being able to have access to that. And so I really want to pay tribute to those kids who came down here, challenged at a huge number of MPs on this issue. I think sometimes these issues are a bit popular, but these children are absolutely determined. And what reaffirmed that for me was later on in the afternoon, they had a meeting with McDonald's, and they're running a campaign at the moment called Pretty Deadly, and it's about these marketing gimmicks that they do, you know, the balloons that they give away. Now, I can't think of many other companies in the world that have a more iconic brand than McDonald's. So I think the kids quite rightly made a real challenge to McDonald's about, you know, why are you using these, you know, plastic balloons that go away and, you know, sometimes end up in Norway or whatever. And one of the things I was quite challenged by not that long ago was during the Easter recess, I went on holiday to Tunisia and I was in Hammamet. And this follows on from the point from the Honourable Lady, the member from Derbyshire, who's no longer in our place. But one of the things that I was quite conscious of when we were travelling throughout certain parts of Tunisia, happy to give it, Honourable Gentleman.
Can I just pay tribute to the Sunnyside Ocean Defenders? Those young students were passionate, they were so engaged and so knowledgeable, and it weren't just interested in plastics, it was so many different things in the world, the planet they wanted to improve, including, for example, polar bears, make sure we protect our polar bears, and I remember very clearly they wanted also to ban wild animals in circuses, which is something the Department is very keen to do as well. So can I thank him for bringing those children down and pay tribute to the school and those children.
My friend, he is, as ever, characteristically incredibly kind, and I'm sure that will be a great encouragement to him. And I want to thank him as well for passing on a personalised plastic bottle, reusable plastic bottle, I must add, to the Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and what the kids really appreciated that, so I'm very grateful. Now, I do want to touch on one or two concerns that I do have, as you might expect, Mr Deputy Speaker, as we approach Britain's exit from the European Union, because you know, we on these benches believe that the SNP government is leading the way on tackling waste, but this cannot be threatened by the government's attack on the devolution settlement. We very much support the EU Commission's vision that all single packaging should be easily recycled or reusable by 2030. And I think we would say that devolution has been vital to ensuring that environmental policies and objectives are tailored to our ambitions in Scotland to meet those needs. And I would be concerned that any power grab from the UK government could inhibit that. But I am conscious of time, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I did promise you that I was not going to ramble on. So the other point that I just wanted to make, and it was really to finish up where I started about these children. Sunnyside Primary is a school of conservation, and I'm incredibly proud of that. But unusually, when you find schools, they have, you know, Latin kind of mottos, but the motto of Sunnyside Primary is, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. And I think we as legislators, when we are making decisions in this House, that's something that should always be at the forefront of our minds.